Good afternoon, and thank you very much for attending this online presentation this afternoon. Really nice to see you all here, and thank you very much for coming here on a Monday afternoon after what I'm sure has been a very busy day for you. My name is Louise Phillip. I'm the product manager for English language teaching and CLIL Primary. And here with me today is Celia Martin. She is the product executive for ELT Primary and CLIL as well. And she will be assisting me with the chat to make sure that no question or comment goes unnoticed. We are very excited to share our brand new primary course Open Up with you all this afternoon. So I just need to move my slides. This is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to have a look at the Open Up key values, Open Up and the LOMLOE, components for teachers and students, and then finally we'll do a unit walkthrough using the digital classroom presentation tool. So thank you again very much for being with us this afternoon, and we hope you enjoy this session. First of all, I would just like you to tell me in the chat, which one of these are you feeling just now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? Let's see who's going to write in the chat how they're feeling.
6, they're saying over
Oh, a
here.
number. Okay, a little bit tired. I'm not surprised. It's Monday. It's the first day of the week. It's
Yes.
difficult, isn't it, on a Monday? A number 1, a happy, good. And we have an excited, excellent. I'm feeling excited as well. I think I'm definitely a number 5. Another number 1, good. That's great. Well, I hope that by the end of the session today, oh, somebody else is tired, Karma. I hope that by the end of today's session, we have more people who are feeling excited and happy. So let's get started. What's in Open Up? Well, Open Up is, as I said, a brand new 6-level course for primary, and it provides teachers with authentic and motivating content for students. It's based on a real-world context with characters that students will identify with, and it also has a really unique focus on well-being. Open Up includes a collaborative and communicative projects and activities, and there is a complete package of digital resources that allow you to continuously monitor your students' progress as they go on to develop their digital skills and competences. With Open Up, students see the world through the eyes of a group of children who have their own internet channel called Open Up, where they create and upload content. Each unit represents an episode on their channel. In each cycle, we meet the 3 main child characters, or channel kids, as we call them, and we watch their videos, which are recorded in a really authentic style. It's kind of similar to videos and vlogs that you can find on platforms like YouTube or TikTok. So, as the videos look so real, your students will be really motivated to learn alongside the channel kids, since they're used to watching videos created by and for children in their everyday lives. There's a really wide variety of styles of videos within Open Up. There are vlogs, which begin each unit. And as I said before, those correspond to an episode on the channel. There are really innovative grammar animations that help your students to consolidate the grammar points in an engaging and memorable way for them. All the stories are animated throughout all the levels. The song videos, I'm going to to show you some clips of those, are similar to the ones students are familiar with in their everyday lives. The songs are super catchy, and they're actually created and sung by professionals from the music world. So they feel really authentic, and kids can lip sync along and create their own choreographies. There are reaction videos where we see children reacting to unfamiliar items, and this is a way of reviewing language at the end of the unit. And there are documentary style culture videos. There are also fun quizzes to round up and review language in an interactive format. And basically, every lesson revolves around a video. So every lesson in the unit has their own, or almost every lesson. So enough of me talking, and I'm going to show you some examples from across all 6 levels of Open Up.
Hi everyone, welcome back. It's culture time!
Let's go.
Wow, this is amazing! Oh no! I see a hamster!
I can dance.
The snail and the bird are friends.
I'll charge my laptop, then I'll turn it on. I'll go on the internet and play our favorite song. Then I'll email you and share something really funny. A viral video about a cute little bunny.
I don't play football. Oh dear.
No.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out. Shall I press it?
Are you ready?
What? Okay. I love it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed watching some of those videos from Open Up. We're certainly very excited about them. So another of the key elements of Open Up, one of the central focuses, is the wellbeing focus. This invites students to reflect and talk about their feelings and emphasizes the importance of both giving and receiving emotional support. Students are encouraged to be involved citizens in their community with an emphasis on caring for the environment. The wellbeing focus also teaches students to be concerned not only for their own well-being, but also for the well-being of other students and people around them. It also helps students to remain calm and focused with classroom routines because there are things like mindfulness practices included. Here below, you can see some examples of the 5 ways to well-being. So there's connect, take part, take notice, care, and keep learning. Before I go on any further, I'd like to hear a bit more from you. So what do you prioritize when you're teaching English? Is it grammar and vocabulary, student motivation, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, communication? Is it something else? Write your answer in the chat Let's hear from you. Hmm. So Mary says that she focuses on, prioritizes grammar and vocabulary. Miguel prioritizes this, but also collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Hmm. And D, communication. Yep. Yeah. And B as well, student motivation. Hmm. A and D, grammar, vocabulary, communication. That's great. Thank you very much for sharing that with me, communication and critical thinking. That's super. Well, we're going to see how all of these are addressed in Open Up, as well as all the other things that are also addressed by Open Up, especially D. Yes, that's great, Marta. Thank you. Okay, let's have a look now at Open Up key values. So these are the key values of Open Up. Open up your eyes to the world, open up your imagination, open up your horizons, and open up your feelings. Let's explore each of these in a bit more detail. So, how do we open up our eyes to the world with Open Up? Well, the channel kids, as I said, they have an internet channel where they create their own content. And that way they incorporate today's world into the classroom through a really familiar and relevant context for our students, which helps them to feel that learning English actually has a point. Each unit focuses also on a cultural aspect from another country, with documentary style stories, which are presented by the channel kids, but we also meet children from other cultures and other countries around the world. The stories, there's a story in every unit, they explore the characters' responses to a different range of situations, and it gives us a chance as well to reflect on the emotional aspect in each story. We've just had a look at the videos which help our students open up their imagination. As I said before, Open Up revolves around videos. There are vlogs to introduce and also to close each topic. There are grammar animations, TikTok style videos for songs, documentaries, story animations, quizzes, and reaction videos. And I'm going to show you a few more examples of those as we go through today's session. Open up your horizons. Um, excuse me. With Open Up, students work together to find out more about the world around them. And a great way of doing that is through collaborative projects, which are in each unit with Open Up. And there are also learning situations each term, which encourage children to do research and investigate the world around them. There are culture lessons which help them to open their eyes to the world and invite them to compare and contrast with their own culture. Competential active learning methodologies are at the heart of Open Up, and this places students at the centre of their own learning. Global skills such as critical thinking and collaboration are developed through the many pair and group activities. And of course, students learn to talk about emotions and feelings and develop empathy for others with the 5 ways to well-being that I mentioned previously. Let's have a look at how Open Up aligns with the new educational reform, the LOMLOE. So, a key theme of the LOMLOE is competence-based methodology. And Open Up methodology is competence-based, which means that students learn by doing, basically. This methodology is based on the key competences, which are also highlighted in the class books. And then there are further notes with explanations in the teacher's guides. There are projects to develop critical thinking and independent learning. There are lots of challenges that require students to work collaboratively. And we have competency-based rubrics and specific competence tests to facilitate the implementation of the LOMLOE. So you'll have probably seen, if your regional authority has published their draft curriculum, that as well as key competences, the curriculums are divided into specific competences. So these are developed throughout the course, and there are tests to help you evaluate those. Another key theme of the LOMLOE is inclusivity. And how does Open Up reflect that? Well, I would like to think that all Oxford course books are inclusive, because we're very aware of this, and we have been for a long time, and we work hard to ensure that this is reflected in our materials. In Open Up specifically, the central focus on well-being helps students to accept and celebrate themselves for who they are. And I'm going to tell you a bit more about well-being when we look at those lessons in the activity books. The projects are also designed to motivate and include all students through collaborative work. There are tests and activities at various levels of difficulty. The course comes with a test generator, which allows you to customize your own tests if you prefer, as well as our normal unit tests. There's content in different formats for different learning styles. We have a new digital item called the Active Learning Kit with gamified resources, so students are motivated to carry on working at their own pace. And I'm going to tell you more about the Active Learning Kit in a moment. There are notes in the teacher's guides on how to adapt your lessons to the classroom. There's also a specific page relating to special educational needs. And we also have a new item, a new component called Go Pangea, which helps develop empathy and build confidence. And this is another new digital component that we'll find out more about in a minute. Also, in addition to the usual unit tests, which focus purely on content, there are also specific competence tests for every unit, as well as the iProgress check and learning record on the Active Learning Kit, which helps students to become more autonomous as they reflect on their learning. Continuous assessment is quite an important part of the reform, and I think probably quite a lot of teachers are already using continuous assessment in the classroom. And continuous or formative assessment, it's really an essential way for everybody, for students to really understand where they are in a point in time in their learning and be able to react very quickly to any feedback that they get in order to improve. And I think that that is a really vitally important piece of a thing to do when you are teaching a foreign language for children. There are very clear objectives as well for each lesson, which I think you'll find very useful. There's opportunities for informal assessment as well as you're going through, because you can assess children formally using unit tests, etc., or informally as they're doing projects and working together collaboratively. And there are plenty of rubrics to help you with that. I mentioned learning situations earlier, so this is something that's also new in the curriculum. These are every term in the review lessons, and they're all focused on real life situations. So students in this case are encouraged to think about what they already know, then work together to decide what they need to do, what they need to know, do research, and finally work together to create and present information, and then they self-evaluate. And also their scientific competence is also developed through collaborative projects at the end of units, the learning situations which require research and the reinterpretation of information, and the multidisciplinary content with topics relating, for example, to the environment and how to take care of it. Open Up is aligned to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and you'll be able to download the mapping document from Oxford Premium if you decide to use the course. There are many global cultural themes presented by the Channel Kids videos in the culture lessons. The focus on wellness includes a focus on caring for the environment, and there are projects for students to develop and practice communication skills, as well as both key and specific competences. And of course, Go Pangaea's collaborative world, where students can exchange ideas and experiences with other students around the world with questions aligned to UN Sustainable Development Goals. Another new, or at least new to primary element of the curriculum is mediation. So you may know that mediation has always been around in English language teaching, but it is actually explicitly included in the curriculum now. So what do you understand by mediation? Would you like to just write in the chat what that means to you? And if you're not sure, you don't know, that's also fine. As I say, this is new in the curriculum. Okay, I don't want to put pressure on you if you're not sure. So really, mediation essentially is when students reinterpret information to be able to convey it to another student or to their teacher in an appropriate way. It's it's not really about solving problems. It is about interpreting information. That's the difference. So, for example, if here's an example of what it could mean. So, imagine you go to the doctor and you go with your sister, who's also a doctor. And the doctor explains the problem in a very technical doctor way. After the appointment, your sister explains it to you, but in a way that you can understand everything. So, what your sister is doing in this case is mediating information. It's the same also if you, mediating can also be if you read something in English and you explain it to somebody else in Spanish, that's or in Catalan or your regional language, that's also mediating. Or just exchanging information as well. If you have to solve, it can be solving a problem because you've got to find information together. That can be mediation. So in this context, that's what it means. There are extensive notes in the teacher's guide about mediation. And there are 2 mediation opportunities in every unit of Open Up. Okay, it's also included in the specific competence tests. So there's a mediation situation there for you to help evaluate your students with that. And another important point in the LOMLOE is the development of digital competences. So especially since the start of the pandemic, digital resources have been more present in our daily lives. And of course, it's key that students are familiar with their use as well. Students have access to the blended solution, which means they can access their interactive digital books. They also have the active learning kit and access to Go Pangaea. So let's take a look now at the components that come with the course. In levels 1 and 2, there we have the option of the class book, which gives students access to their interactive digital book with the active learning kit. There are 2 versions of the activity book, the standard version or the exam edition version for preparing students for external exams. Both of those give access to the interactive digital version. And then for teachers who prefer a communicative approach without a class book, you have the option of My English Folder, which offers a set of active learning resources for a flexible approach. I'll tell you just a little bit more about that. So My English Folder follows the same lesson structure of Open Up, but it has fewer literacy lessons and it mostly has a communicative focus. The Open Up context, project, songs and stories form part of the method, and there's a resource style iPack for presentation, in addition to all the print classroom resources such as flashcards and posters. And this is available for levels 1 and 2. So as you can see, there's a fully blended offer and access to the interactive digital book with the print version. For levels 3 to 6, the class book comes with access again to the interactive digital book. Again, we have the 2 versions of the activity book. Both of them give access to the digital version and also access to the active learning kit and Go Pangea. We also have My Wellbeing Journal. So this is a special component which is included in the class books in levels 1 and 2 and the activity books in levels 3 to 6. It consolidates the well-being focus in Open Up, building emotional awareness and resilience together with language skills. An engaging story highlights one of the aspects of the 5 ways to well-being, and personalized follow-up activities raise awareness of beneficial well-being practices and techniques. So these are incorporated within the class book or the activity book, depending on the level. So children don't have like an extra book, which we know can easily get lost. And these are the teachers' resources, teachers' components. Of course, there's a teacher's guide, teachers' resource packs for every level, and then lots of digital resources, the iPack, which is what we call our classroom presentation tool, digital class books and activity books, the test generator, all the unit, term and end of year tests, specific competence tests, and a full bank of downloadable worksheets for mixed ability, grammar and vocab, culture, songs, etc. And the talk bank, which you can download for your students to use at various points throughout the course. Another question for you. So as well as the resources that you're currently using, do you look for extra resources for your students? And if so, what kind of things do you look for and where do you look for them? Can you just write your answer in the chat, please? I'm sure that you do look for extra resources. I don't think I've met a teacher yet who doesn't have a little folder of photocopies or items that they've made over the years, but I'd like to know what kind of other things you're also looking for these days. Videos, yeah, from YouTube and games. Yeah, so there's a lot of digital things, I think, now. Anything else? Yeah, sometimes extra grammar practice. Yeah, interactive activities or games so they can practice at home on Google Classroom. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that is something that's also quite interesting, isn't it? To have resources for children to continue learning or continue practicing when they're at home. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something extra. Yeah, grammar interactives. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so that moves me on nicely. And just at the end of every unit, interactive worksheets. Okay, great. Well, I've mentioned live worksheets. Yep, true. I've mentioned before the active learning kit. Activities about festivals. Okay, interesting too. That's fun. A fun thing to do as well. So the active learning kit is a digital online practice resource. It's for students and it allows them to take responsibility for their education and become more autonomous. In levels 1 to 2, there's a code inside the digital class book, and for levels 3 to 6, the code is inside the digital activity book. And this is an example. You have the game zone, iProgress check, book club, learning record, and grammar gym for levels 3 to 6, and picture dictionary for levels 1 to 2. So I'm just going to show you a quick video that explains what the Active Learning Kit is and what you can see on it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that short video that explains the Active Learning Kit. The course that it was showing there is a secondary course, but it works in exactly the same way for primary courses. And obviously, it is aligned with the content from each primary course. So the grammar gym, the iProgress check, it is all aligned with the content. Okay, and there's a question that can be integrated in Google Classroom. I'm not sure about that, I'm afraid. We will take a note and we can answer that. We can drop you an email, okay, and let you know.
Louise, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. I've just copied and pasted the link for the Active Learning Kit. So if you want to know a bit more about it, just click on the link and you will learn more.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Celia. I talked a little bit about GoPangea as well. This is a really exciting new app and platform for us, where students can create global connections. So all your students from level 3 onwards will have access to GoPangea through a code in the activity book. It's 100% secure because the privacy and well-being of the students are always protected. And there are questions aligned to the UN Sustainable Development Goals with resources such as videos, texts, etc., exclusive for Oxford users. And again, I'm going to show you a video because I think it explains it much better than I can explain it in words. So I'm happy to show you GoPangea. We're also very excited about this. And Celia is going to add the link to GoPangea in the chat so that you can check it out later. And there's some more videos on there as well, so you can find out more about GoPangea. And I hope that you find them as interesting as we do. So I am going to move on now and show you the classroom presentation tool for level 3 of Open Up. Celia, if you can just tell me when you can see the screen, that would be great.
We can see it now, Louise.
Okay, thank you very much. Super. Okay, so this is the iPack or the classroom presentation tool. And you can see here that you have the tabs for your digital class book and your digital activity book. And in this tab, you have your resources. And you will also have your test generator here, okay? And with the activity book, we can see the various points that it has, parts it has, picture dictionary, grammar, my wellbeing journal, the cutouts, and the active learning kit and book club. And I'll tell you a little bit more about them before we finish today. So going on to the class book, I said to you before about the channel children. Here we have the channel children from level 3. So we have Leo, Mia, and Dan. And on the right-hand side of the page, we have the introduction to well-being, because if we want our students in the class to be able to open up and talk about their feelings, we need to give them the tools and the vocabulary that they need in order for them to do that. So we begin in the starter unit, starter lesson by teaching them vocabulary and introducing them to the characters from the Wellbeing Journal. And we can see this little flower here, the petals, they represent elements of the Wellbeing Journal that you will find throughout the class book. Going to go straight into level 4. At the end of this presentation, Celia is also going to give you a link so that you can see this for yourself at home with more time. So I said before that all the units begin with a video because, all the lessons begin with a video because this is a course that really revolves around video. So before we look at the lesson, I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you the first video, which is the vlog that opens the unit. And here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome to our English channel.
It's raining.
I'm bored.
But there's lots we can do.
Like what?
Let's make models. I love making models.
What now?
Dan, what do you do at the weekend?
I play video games on Saturday and I play video games on Sunday.
Yes.
Yay, I win!
Good game. What do you do at the weekend, Mia?
I chat to friends.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the iPack and pick up where we were. So I've cut the video off kind of halfway through. It's actually 3 minutes long. So while we watch the video for the first time, we see the language presented in context in a kind of really authentic and engaging way. Then after that, we remember the activities and we can see them here illustrated with the photographs. And there's a pronunciation activity as well. And there's a downloadable pronunciation worksheet that goes along with that. At the end of this lesson, we are playing a memory game in order to consolidate the language structure and the vocabulary that we've learned. And we can see there, take notice. So this is the well-being element that we're focusing on in this particular lesson. And it's a discussion point for you to have in the class with your students. In this case, what do you do to feel happy? Then moving on, we have the grammar page. And again, this begins with a grammar presentation in the form of a video. So once again, I hope this works okay, but I'm going to go back to my video and show you the grammar animation.
Yay! Weekend!
Yeah! Weekend!
I'm
so happy! Yeah!
I love weekends. What do you do at the weekend?
I play football on Saturday.
Oh, that looks fun. What do you do at the weekend? I do karate on Sunday.
And I visit Grandma on Sunday.
Karate. Grandma.
I'm just going to jump forward a little bit so that you can see the next part of the video.
Let's look at the grammar. What do you do at the weekend? I play football on Saturday. I do not play football on Saturday. I don't play football on Saturday. I do karate on Sunday.
And now I'm going to go back to the iPad. So once you've shown the video to your students, and I think they'll find it very entertaining as well as a really good way for them to learn the grammar points, then they continue with a short dialogue that they act out in pairs. They can see the grammar in the grammar paradigm below with a little hint there, and there's also a chat. Then there is an activity where they have to find out information from each other. And this is an opportunity for mediation. So as I was explaining before, this is where children reinterpret or find out information from each other. So this is an opportunity for mediation. Below at the bottom, you have the two children who are modeling the language that they're going to use in this activity. Going on to the next lesson is the song lesson. The songs are really different for Open Up. As I said before, they've been written and are performed by professionals from the music world rather than just from the English language teaching world. So they're really exciting and great fun. And I'm actually going to show you the whole video because I think it's worth watching in this case. And it's a video where they're going to be practicing the key language, which is what do you do at the weekend? So let's have a look and see.
What do you do at the weekend? What do you do all day? What do you do at the weekend? On Saturday and Sunday I play football, I make models, and I do karate. I chat to my friends and maybe go to a party, but I don't visit grandma and I don't visit granddad because they live far away. What do you do at the weekend? What do you do all day? What do you do at the weekend? On Saturday and Sunday I play football, I make models, and I do karate. I chat to my friends and maybe go to a party, but I don't visit grandma and I don't visit granddad because they live far away. What do you do at the weekend? What do you do all day? What do you do at the weekend? On Saturday and Sunday?
I hope you enjoyed that video from Open Up Level 3. Celia and I have been singing it non-stop. It's definitely one of our favorites. So children make up dances to the songs, they make up their own choreography, and they also think about the song and think about how they feel about it. And we also teach them we give them the vocabulary that they need to be able to talk about it. So their next activity after singing the song, they write new lines for the song, they change the words and they make up their own verses and they invent their own choreography. And there's also a karaoke track for this. So if you just want the music and you want your kids in the class to sing it, then you can do that as well. Lots of different musical styles as well in every song lesson. Moving on, the next lesson is the culture lesson. There's a documentary style video for this one, and the focus is on a child from a different part of the world, with comprehension activities as well. And we're getting children to reflect on what they like and what they know about this particular aspect of culture. In this case, it's about martial arts. And there's a really nice documentary that goes along with it. As I say, we're going to share the link with you so that you can see this yourself, and then you can play all the videos. In the interest of time, I'm not going to be able to show them all today because there's so many, really. Moving on, the next lesson is the story and vocabulary lesson. Again, the whole story is animated. And in this case, we're looking at a little girl called Eva who has an incredibly busy day. She's a very sporty little girl and does lots and lots of activities, but she does so many that she basically falls asleep while she's playing football. And we encourage our children to think about here, to think about how does Eva feel, how do her friends feel, and then to think about themselves and think about the importance of making enough time to do all the things that you want to do. You'll see at the bottom as well where it says review that we're consistently reviewing language as well as we move along. It's not just giving new vocabulary, we're also reviewing vocabulary that children have come across in the past. The next lesson is the story and grammar lesson, and we watch the video again and we answer some specific questions relating to the story. And children practice the structure in the morning and in the afternoon. And again, whenever we are presenting the grammar, we can see the grammar table or paradigm there, which makes it easier for children to practice. And at the bottom, there's another communicative activity with children modeling the structure, which helps to support everybody so that they're able to take part. The skills lesson is listening and speaking. And this is the only lesson that doesn't have a video because it's focusing on listening and speaking. And there's a game that students play here after they have acted out the dialogue. They use the cutouts at the back of their activity book to do an information exchange type activity. And here, the well-being aspect is focused on what do you like doing? The review lesson is a quiz called, which basically is like a review of all the language and all the structures that students have seen up until this point in a really engaging, fun format with the channel kids. And you can divide your class into two groups or have them compete against each other if you like. And we have Beat the Clock game. So that's what you see here in this wheel. There are 12 activities. And it's a way of reviewing everything that we've done before. You can do it as a timed activity, and it's really good fun to play. It's a challenge for them. And then they reflect about what they have learned and what they've liked best about what they've learned in this unit. And finally, we move on to the project. And in this case, they are going to be creating a game. And we give them the resources through the talk bank of the language that they're going to need. This is a brilliant mediation opportunity because amongst themselves, children in the group need to explain what they have to do. So you explain what they have to do, and then they have to explain it to each other. And that's a great mediation opportunity. And then finally, we have the closer vlog where our channel kids give us a bit of a taster of what's coming up in the next unit. And I'm going to just quickly jump to the activity book here because I wanted to show you the corresponding review pages in the activity book. They're just loading just now. So you can see lesson 8 review, my learning. We have 4 different activities here and they're not numbered. So the idea here is that children decide for themselves which order they want to do the activities in. They might decide to do the most challenging one first or probably the easiest one first, and then thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs neutral to let you know which, if they found it hard or easy or regular. And then lesson 9 is the end of the unit, and this is the writing lesson. So here we can see the example, and then we help them to plan. In this case, we're using a mind map, and children write their own piece of text. In this case, it's relating to their favorite day, and we give them tips with a star tip to help them with their writing. And at this point, we go to the wellbeing journal. So it's hyperlinked here from the activity book to the corresponding pages in the wellbeing journal. And we have a short story here from the Wellbeing Journal. And here our character is worried because it's sports day at school. And he's worried about that because he's small and he's short and he's not very strong. But he's looking at himself in the mirror and he tells himself to stop and to think about all the things that he can do. He can jump and he's brave and he convinces himself that he's worth it. So, of course, he is. He's good at lots of different things. So, we get our children to reflect on what they are like. And this is an activity where they color in the adjectives that describe them. And there are spaces there that they can write other words that they know to describe themselves as well. And then draw themselves in the mirror and write things about themselves. And at the end of this, we give them a little well-being tip. And this is to say one kind thing to yourself every morning. And that's not just for the students, that's for you as well as teachers. I think we all need to learn to be kind to ourselves. And then going back to the class book, every 2 units, we have the channel challenge. And we help the children to organize the words into lists of words that they know and introduce them. This particular lesson is about heroes. And we have the reaction video here. And I'm just going to show you this. If you have children of your own at the age of primary school, you probably will have seen these kinds of videos where children react to different things. If you haven't seen anything like this before, then you're in for a nice surprise, I hope.
Who's that?
A superhero? Superhero? A superhero?
What's she wearing?
Wearing a red cape. A red cape. A red mask.
What's she wearing on her head?
It's a pink wig.
What else?
Shoes.
What color are her shoes?
Okay, so that hopefully will give you an idea of the kind of videos that you can see in the reaction videos. And it's something that children of this age really, really engage with. And it's a really fun way to review language as well. The learning situation is at every 2 units, as I said. In this particular case, we're focusing on who are your heroes. And the activity is that children are going to create a poster. And of course, heroes in this context, it doesn't have to refer to superheroes. So we want them to think what they know about and what do they want to know about. And of course, heroes can be anybody. It could be a family member, it could be a member of your community. We have them research and prepare the information. They could go online, they could use a library, or they could ask friends and family, and they work together to make their poster. It could be a digital poster, or it could be a presentation as well, whatever you like. They then work together to present that to the class, and they evaluate it together. And that's at the end of the unit. So I'm just going to go back here, put my camera on again. And we're at the end of the presentation. And I would just like to thank Celia. She's put the digital books in the link there in the chat. So I just wanted to know, how are you feeling now, particularly? How are you feeling about Open Up? And I hope you've enjoyed the presentation today, and we're here to answer any questions that you might have. So please go ahead in the chat and tell me how you're feeling. Tell the Open Up kids how you're feeling, and let us know if you have any questions. Whoa, and excited. Great, Marta. I'm really pleased to hear that. I'm excited too. Let me know if anybody has any questions as well. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have. Yay, another number 5. Good. And happy. Great. That's good, Bea and Anna. Thank you. I hope nobody is angry. Super. Okay, great. Any questions? Celia has put all the links for the digital books for Gopanjaya and the Active Learning Kit in the chat, so you can access them from there. That's super. Oh, thank you, Paloma. Great, thank you. Well, we enjoyed it too, and we're super excited. Yay. Thank you. And another 5. That's really good. Well, we are here in Oxford well, we're actually not in Oxford. I'm just south of Barcelona and Celia's in Madrid. A bit worried. A lot of resources to use. Yes, there's a lot of resources, but it's just a joke. Okay. You can choose which ones to use, of course, and how you use them. That was a very British humor thing to do there, Miguel Angel. I appreciate that. That's super. Okay, so thank you all very much for being here with us this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you again in the future. Great, Anna, you're very welcome.
Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye and enjoy the rest of your afternoon and your evening, and have a great week. Bye.